Hello, my name is Alana Rivera, and this is my final presentation for IT 415 Breast Cancer Statistics Information for the Modern Woman. I decided to do breast cancer statistics because I feel that it is important for all women just to know going forward what their chances are, what their risks are. Of course, men do get breast cancer as well, however, it's not as often as women, and they're not as high a risk as women are. For my information for this project, I went to the National Cancer Institute at the National Institutes of Health, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and I also used the SEER, which is a cancer statistics review, which actually gave me majority of my numeric information. So for my tools for this project, I decided to use Google Charts. I did want to use Vidi, which is a data visualization program. However, I found some problems with it once I started creating my visualizations. So for this project, I use Google Charts. I use a pie chart to show the ages at which women are diagnosed, and a marker geo chart for the top 10 U.S. states with the highest cancer diagnosis rates. So some of the difficulties that I mentioned, as in the slide before, was finding visualizations that fit my findings. I spent a lot of time creating visuals that I wound up not using at the end because either I created them and they didn't suit the information I created them for, or I also had problems as far as modifying the code and getting it to work with my HTML website that I created for this project. So this is one of the visualizations that I created. It's a pie chart, it's interactive, and it's the rate of ages of women diagnosed. This is my website right here, which I'll show you again in a minute. This is the visualization in play. As you can see, when you scroll over it, you get a little bit more details of what this is a visualization of. I also feel like the pie chart was able to show us basically where women are at higher risk. So this is one of the visualizations that I did have trouble with. I wanted to find a visualization that was United States specific, so I would be able to take a closer look at the states. However, I could not find it as I went through many different sites, or when I did find it, it did not fit my information. So as you see, as we scroll over right here, well, that one is District of Columbia, which is very tiny, so that's why we're zooming in right here, and when we zoom in, we can scroll over it and see our information. So while this works very well, it's not as close as I would have liked it to be. So for my findings, what I did find was that while the age of women who are highest at risk is right here between 55 to 64, it actually goes across. If you look very closely, we can see how close the numbers are from the age of 45 to the age of 74. So that's actually an average of 29.9%. And for the top 10 states, what I found was that the majority of these states are located on the East Coast, which include New Hampshire, Massachusetts, um, Connecticut, and New York. The website that I created for this, as you can see right here, we have a banner which I custom created. This is my navigation bar with a hover. This is my home page. I use some public photos for the background as well as for the pages. You did see the visualizations already. This is my PowerPoint that we're actually looking at right now. I've embedded it, so if someone else wanted to take a closer look at it, this is where the video for this presentation will be placed. That video is just there temporarily. These are hyperlinks to my references. So for instance, if we wanted to go directly to the seer, we can just click and we're on their website. And this is the CSS that I used for this particular website. These are just some images to show. So what I learned, visualizations do not always fit the data we're trying to present, and you have to be extremely detailed when modifying another code. Also, the breast cancer statistics that I did find were easy to come across. However, some of them were conflicting. And these are my references. Thank you very much.